Hey guys, Dr. Mina Ali here. Today we're going to be talking about video 3, advocacy goals. Oh my goodness. So of course we've been talking about what an advocate is, how you get into your mojo, and then some of the things that you know to be true and right about your mission work. Now let's talk about some goals. In order for you to have a measure of success, you gotta know where you're going so you know when you get there. So today we're going to talk about a few things. One is going to be identifying them, and then what it kind of looks like when you do it in certain demographics. Okay, so let's get started. All right. Advocacy goals. We gotta set our intention. Now that sounds delicious, but it might be the most challenging part of your work. Setting your intention means to decide. Period. You are going to decide what you want to do. Now, there's advocacy pieces that we're going to be talking about in future videos, but there's going to be things that you got to kind of set in your mind. And if you're like me, you just want to just save the world. So I'm going to save the whales today, and then I'm going to save facets of China tomorrow. You know, we're just saving the world. But in order to save the world, you have to save yourself some grief by deciding. So today we're going to understand that setting your intention is important. How do you do that? Well, first and foremost, you got to know if service work is meant for you. There is not anybody in the human service field that is a millionaire. I'll say that again. There isn't anybody that's in the human service work, still getting their nails dirty, still in the grit and grime of things, doing the work, not pushing paper, not in a corporate setting, doing the work that is a millionaire. It's not designed for that. Your reward is in here, and up there. Your reward is going to be the understanding that your stewardship has made a difference in the life of a person. How could you put a price tag on that? And that's why there aren't any human service, social work millionaires that are in the grind of this. You have to also understand that in this advocacy work, you're doing it for the outcome, not the income. And that has to be set first. And I'm so passionate about that. You got to go into this knowing that if you never receive a dime of payment, your passion, your energy, your empathy, your compassion is still going to be at Mach level 5. You're going to be in warp drive every day. And it's going to be your adrenaline. It's going to be your caffeine. It's going to be the reason why you get up and say, you know what? Today's going to be a good day. So you got to set your intention. Number 2, do your homework. Now, that doesn't mean that you got to be a PhD or earn a master's degree. You don't need any of that to do this work. That's why I'm giving this course. You don't need any of that. Had I known that 30 years ago, I guarantee I would have saved the United States Army a lot of money. I would have saved them a ton of money. That could have been used to help a veteran come home and transition right, you know? But I know now that advocacy work comes from here, not here. This is the train that gets you from your thoughts to the actual actions. But this is what starts the mission. When you see something inside of you that you know is like, okay, I got to do something about this. When you're convicted and moved by whatever ethereal or spiritual realm that you respect and understand, and you are pushed in that direction, that's when your advocacy starts. You don't need anything on the wall. You don't even need anyone to come up to you and say that you're such a good person. Your humility is going to carry you. That's what's going to give you your best outcome every day. So doing your homework means that you have to know the intention behind what you are doing. You have to visit with those that are in the mix. You have to talk to those that have experienced it and maybe can tell their story and empower you to serve even better. And then you have to work in the field. You can't become a doctor if you don't treat patients, right? So, well, you can't be an effective doctor, because I know some doctors that, okay, never mind. But you can't be effective in your work if you are not in the field. So this is a day-to-day thing. This could be something that you do at work. As you work, you see certain people that they may be coming in for banking purposes, but you see that they're coming in with maybe $10 instead of $50 to open the account. And you say, you know what? Let me go ahead and open the account with $10 and I'm going to let you wait until payday to do it. That's compassion. You know that the rules say they got to open it up with $50. But if they open it with $10 and in 2 weeks they can put the other $40 in there, you just showed compassion and you advocated for the needs of that person. Now, am I telling you to break rules? No, the rules are already there to be broken. There's exceptions to all of them. And the understanding of you knowing that there is a reason why you were called to do this work is your motivation. Now, all you have to do is just supplicate the experience and the knowledge base on it. 3, decide on an advocacy. Okay, that sounds real simple. Just decide. Decide on the advocacy. But this is when we're talking about advocacy goals, we're deciding on these advocacy goals. So that means if you're working 3 or 4 missions, which happens, and you're working it to the diligency of you knowing that you got to do this on Monday and this on Tuesday and you got a seminar on Wednesday, you have to set goals, and some of them are short-term and long-term. Short-term goals are right now. Can I help that person that's homeless, that's sitting on the corner right now? I can give him $5 or bring some food to him. Those are short-term goals. Long-term goals, how am I going to keep them off the street? I need to go to my network. You remember your network video, and the videos that's going to come up on network is going to explain how to network and get resources for these people. And once we get into that resource piece, and once we have this this flow, I like to use that term. Once we get into our flow of how we service individuals and how our advocacy grows and expands to help other people come into the mission and work with their talents, gifts, and abilities, you're going to see that this is going to be a great rendition to making this change. Okay, short term, long term. Short term is, again, what we're going to do right now. We're going to establish ourselves. We're going to get this thing going. We're going to give ourselves a name, and we're going to understand what we're going to be doing. And if we're working 4 or 5 missions, we got to make time and set parameters and get a calendar and get a whiteboard that's a scheduler and put those little red dots. And I got red, blue, yellow, and green. It's just all the dots all over there. And red is for one, yellow is for another, blue is for my personal stuff, and green is for the mission itself. And I just got dots all over the place. And these dots are indicative of what it is you need to do and how you need to do it. And you just got to get organized. So that's actually the last part of this one, is getting organized. You're going to have to make sure that your advocacy is disciplined. This is not easy work, and you're going to get burned out and tired. And we're going to talk about self-care in a couple of videos moving forward. But you're going to get tired, and you're going to be frustrated, and you're going to have all these days where you're just like, I'm done. I'm done. I've had days where I said, I'm not going to do it anymore. I quit. I'm giving up my license. I'm giving up all my practical skills and abilities, and anything that you have is just, I just want to be a hermit on somebody's island in Cape Verde somewhere. You know, like this is going to be the end of who I am because I'm so frustrated. So you have to make sure that you're disciplined, set your goals, set your parameters, and learn how to breathe. But what does that look like? What does all of this look like when you're getting all your goals together and you're setting the parameters, you're working your mission, you're getting your nails dirty, and everybody is getting help? It's going to look very corporate. Yeah, I know. And that's why I say that's the part I really don't like. But there's many ways to navigate this. This allows you, I'm going to explain in a few tenets on how you can, it's going to look corporate. Let's just be clear, because the organization has to be done right. So it's going to look corporate. It's going to look structured. It's going to look all, and that's not what you got into this for. I said it. I didn't get into medicine for paperwork. I got into medicine to affect change. But there is a structure to this. And we're going to explain a couple of structures. We can do the nonprofit way. Now, nonprofit doesn't mean no profit. Should I say that again? But nonprofits are the ones that are the charitable organizations that you set forth the goals that are intentional. So if you get $100,000, and I'll say this in again and again and again in these videos, if you get $100,000, 90,000 of it is going to go toward the mission. The other 10 is going to go to this corporate side that I'm talking about. This is the logistics and the payroll and the people pieces to this. And you got to pay your team, or you got to at least give them per diems, or you got to give them some kind of sponsorship to allow them to do the work. So this nonprofit piece is going to have to be set up. So you're going to have to get your board. You're going to have to file your paperwork. You even have to set your roles and advocate duties for each person. Pass it down. Delegation. This also works for NGOs, or non-government organization, and CSOs, which is community service organization. You can Google both to see the difference between the two. But these are indicative of charitable organizations that are doing this for the outcome, not the income. The next is a not-for-profit organization. Now, I want you to Google that because I want you to get an understanding of what not-for-profit is and the difference between that and a non-profit. It's similar goals, but the intention is totally different. The non-profit, if you never make a dime, that's fine. Not-for-profit means we're going to get a profit. We're going to turn over stakeholders and shareholders' responsibilities, but that's not the goal. That's not. Now it sounds like, okay, that it's nonprofit. That sounds like nonprofit to me. No, it's a difference. That's why I want you to Google it. I want you to see it for yourself and understand it for yourself so you can get the gist. But in that, there is an audience in the not-for-profit that you're going to be catering to. So even though you do advocacy, you may do advocacy for elders that are in home hospice. Or you're going to be doing maternal care work for those that are HIV/AIDS and those that are wanting to breastfeed. You may do criminal justice advocacy, and we'll talk about that later. But you want to do it for those that have returned from incarceration and now trying to find a job or get a place to stay. So you're more transitional advocacy. So these are specific, intentional, and very focused details to your advocacy, and you can get as specific as you want to. I know that there is a sister now that is dealing with women that are indigenous to the continent, the African continent, who are pregnant, who are tribal, and that have dental problems. You can't get more specific than that. I mean, it is so interesting that she took her dentistry practice and now she's going back to the continent and she's working with women that are pregnant. And she's trying to prove that women that are pregnant can have proper dental care without all of the rigmaroles of the radiological pieces and the chemical pieces. And she's trying to do an organic dentistry for rural women. How did I find out about her? Because I had a rural woman that needed dental care. And when the student is ready, the teacher shall appear, I promise you. And she has been amazing in this network that I have. And again, we'll talk about networking in a minute. Last thing that we're going to talk about as far as identifying of your advocacy goals is you need to understand your structure. Now, it's probably going to be organic in the beginning. It's going to be just kind of willy-nilly, and you're going to just form it as it goes along. But the idea and the intention is to form it. This is very, very crucial if you're trying to solicit funds, get donations, have in-kind donations, or corporate sponsorship. You have to format it. So what I'm going to ask you is to look into your community and see maybe if you have any interns or some students that are into business, maybe that are getting your MBA and they need some kind of structure to their internship or externship, and maybe they can formulate a business plan for you. They would be better able to help you to structure your business. Make sure your goals are meeting your vision and your purpose and your continuity statements. And make sure that your business plan is actually matching up to those that would be prospective donors. And make sure the philanthropic offerings are fluid, because we need the money, honey, in order to do this. But we're not doing it for the money. Thank you so very much. I enjoyed this time with you. We're going to be tuning into the next video, of course. But what we're going to do is I'm going to ask that you check the questions below. Make sure that you read the question and know what it is that we're going to be talking about. And then put it in paragraph form, expound, expand on it. Allow yourself to just go crazy with it. I love reading your ideas and love hearing your stories and your testimonies, so keep them coming. I'm Dr. Amina Ali, and we'll see you next time.